Welcome to the service clinic at Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley, talking to you guys that have gas tanks earlier than 2008. In 2008, they got rid of the fuel crossover line, and that's what we're going to talk about today. One of the biggest things, the killers of a gas tank, is rust. You know it. The older the motorcycle, the less taken care of. Rust gets inside and starts tearing it apart. But the rust that I want to talk to you about is you've owned your motorcycle, kept it washed, clean, fuel in it, taken care of it, but you've never taken the crossover line off. This is the silent killer that is destroying older motorcycle tanks. Touring bikes, Softails, Dynas. What is happening is moisture and fuel from this side and moisture from this is getting inside here. And it's starting to rust. And the rust will continue, even though you can't see it. As far as you've got this fuel line on, the rust is going to start tearing it apart. And then when we want to repair something on your motor and take the fuel tank off, there's nothing there. We've had tanks come in with pinholes starting at the bend, and this is really becoming a problem, finding a welder that will save your gas tank by putting and repairing this little valve. And it's something we just don't think about. I mean, the front fuel line's been on forever. It's not leaking. It's not doing anything wrong, but it's eating itself from inside and outside underneath the clamp. So I don't have this fix-all idea. What I suggest to you, if you own a very old Harley-Davidson with the crossover, get yourself a new tube. Go to your auto store and buy 1/4 inch. Now, if you've got early fuel injection, it's larger. You'll have to measure it and make sure, but get a new piece. Get yourself a foot. It's usually sold by a foot. Drain your gas tank. Take gingerly off, and you're going to probably have to spray some lubricant underneath here because it's been together for years and years and years. Go back and forth, and pull it off. Clean it. All right, clean it as best as you can. Maybe put a little wax, a little oil, something that will help preserve this. Then put yourself the new fuel line on. Now, I am a big believer on use the Harley-Davidson clamps. You have to plan ahead. If yours is small, you use a 1/4. If you've got fuel injection, you're going to use the 138A, I believe, and this is a 1114. But look it up at your parts. Get the new one, and you've got to use some type of tool to clamp these down. These will, work on the old days, but they will come a little bit loose. They make it easier to service this tube. But I wanted to bring to your attention, if you've got a crossover and you've had this motorcycle new and you've never replaced this, this is something that you should look into seriously in the near future, is drain your tank, get a new line, get new clamps, gingerly back and forth, and clean this as much as possible and put the new line. And maybe your tank will last a lot longer than if you just don't think about this. And when you bring it in and we have to take it apart, we give you a phone call going, your tank needs to be welded up, which is hard to find a welder to do that, or you need to replace the tank because you can't put anything inside this to take the place of these tubes. Something Low Country Harley-Davidson wanted to help with a tech tip for you guys with 2007 earlier with the crossover on any model that you have. Check it out. Take care of your motorcycle. I'm Doc Harley. We'll see you next week.